Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday to start off the week. How's it going? Um, okay, so let me just go ahead and I'm actually multi-streaming. So um, this is going like on Facebook and everything like that. So yeah, I just want to make sure that I have everything pretty much set up. If you're coming in, say what's up. Um, let me see. Let me make sure that I can see comments and stuff like that. I don't have it set up where I have the comments here, like on the side right here. A couple things I do want to talk about. First of all, we'll talk about where it was the Pixel 4a review. Obviously, I didn't do it on Friday. I have my reasons why, so I'll kind of get into that. We'll talk a little bit about, hey Kathy, how's it going? Thanks for coming in to watch. But we'll get into a little bit of like some slight backlash that I received about liking the pixels and just what I'm going to address that as. I actually went through a lot of comments that were held, and I decided to open up comments all the way. Um, that way, it's just easier for me to find them instead of having to go to like comments that were posted and then comments that were held for review and then comments that were blocked. And I'll just open it up all the way so I can just see comments, get notified if they're good ones, bad ones. It doesn't matter. Um, so we'll kind of get into that. We'll just we'll wait to see. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit about the gaming channels that I have right now. I'm actually going to be doing a lot of those, and yeah, I figured I'd put it in a separate space instead of you know uh, combining everything into this channel. I know this is a varieties channel now, and we talk about whatever I want. But I kind of wanted to just you know put gaming into its own area and kind of do those just because of like YouTube stuff like that. So definitely we'll get involved in that. We'll talk more a little bit about that. We'll just give a little bit of time for notifications to go out for people to find this to come in. That would be cool if people came in. I don't know. It's Monday. I'm already feeling Mondays already. As a matter of fact, I've only gotten like I would say possibly 3 hours of sleep. It's just been very hectic. So really rough day. And as you guys can see right over there, I decided to like put like I don't know. I just think like in my live streams, I'm just gonna put some sort of like funny photo up there just to kind of like give some humor to it and see how that goes. Yeah, that's yeah, during the times that we're in, what we're dealing with here. So um if you catch this live, I appreciate that. If you watch the replay, I appreciate that too. And you can hashtag replay crew, whatever. I know I seem really out of it. It's just like I don't know, insomnia is just really bad. It's really it's been hard for me to get some sleep lately, so that's been the tough thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see, if notifications goes out for a Monday. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of things to talk about. Probably do still do an open um in the end. So we'll see what happens. Uh, I'll probably share this out too on Twitter just to let everyone know I'm live if they want to come watch. It's usually how it happens too. I don't know. That's like the weird thing about live streams, right? Especially for my live streams, since I started doing them, since I started doing the, like the podcast and everything. It's like I always have like the topics in the beginning, and then by the time that I'm like closing out the like the main topics and then opening up to just like open discussion, and then more people come in by then is like they to catch the replay. So I try to give at least a good 5 minutes, but we'll see what happens. Which are coming up on that 5 minute mark, so I guess I'm gonna start kicking off some explanations. I just want to make sure that I get this shared out on Twitter real quick. So while I'm going to share it on Twitter, if you guys want to tell me how your Monday is starting off for you, that would be pretty awesome because I do. Besides me sitting here talking about my thoughts, I would love to know how you guys are doing. Is there a way you can make the corner pick a little bigger? Here, I'll do this so you can actually see what the corner picture looks like. Um, Unfortunately, the upload to it to being like a watermark doesn't make it bigger, but I can do this. and it's an overlay, and that's the photo. So on my other channel, the gaming channel, I did a video talking about Dr. Mario viruses that's currently around the world, and this was the photo that I used to make basically use as a thumbnail. Is really what I did that for. And yeah, I'm just almost done tweeting. Decline. I don't know who you are. You're a spam caller. Uh, Sorry. Late start in my day. Tweeted out. We are good. Silence notifications. We are good. Put the ringer down. We are good. Okay. So, anyways, all right. So, yeah, that's you love it. Oh, cool. Your Monday is average. I guess a lot of people could say that, right? Like Mondays are averages because it's like the start of the work week. I mean, originally, if most people don't know about the calendar, there's like two formats of calendars, right? There's calendars that start off on a Sunday and end on a Saturday, and then there's calendars that start off like a Monday and end on a Sunday. And the actual original thing is that the Sunday would actually be the start of it, to some, but those will argue, and so we won't get into a debate over calendars. But all right, let's go ahead and kick it off with the Pixel 4a review. What happened to it? Why did it not come on Friday? And why did I not speak of it? So really what happened, Friday I did a podcast and I was going to do another live stream. I was going to have it set up. I was going to do it live. So I was going to have like one of my phones here on a tripod, kind of pointing towards the desk where the Pixel 4a would have laid out on the desk so I can use it for reference and just have like a split window and just like, talk about it. Here's the thing. There's a lot of reviews on the Pixel 4a. So I decided, I'm just gonna do it in a video format. Let's do that way. And so I wanted to shoot some footage, but I pretty much junked that project. Not that long ago, because I'm gonna redo the whole video, but it's just entirely going to be like my wife's perspective on the phone and also what I think of the phone. More or less, I'm not really gonna be diving into specifications, the megapixels of the cameras, and all that other stuff, because there's so many videos that talk about it. I'll just be regurgitating the same thing. And I think what would set my video different away from everybody else's is just me giving perspectives on it. And I think that's the route that I'm going to go with the Pixel 4a review. Now, if you guys want to know like all the nitty gritty specifications, everything like that, I am a person who is, constantly pushing new YouTubers that I feel have potential. And you guys know that I fully back Technoid's channel. I think he does an amazing job. And he just dropped his Pixel 4a review today. I thought it was really good. I like the way that, he did it. Going to the park and testing out the LTE connectivity, doing a duo video call, doing a regular phone call. It was a lot of stuff that he did in that video, and I felt he did a very, very good job. So, I mean, if you're someone that's like, well, I want to know specifications, I want to know all these things, then head to Technoid's channel and watch his Pixel 4a review. I'm going to link it in the description after the end of this broadcast, so you guys can go to it. Also in the description, there's fun stuff there too if you guys want to read that. But I mean, that's in every video. But the mobile tech space is a giant competition. And sometimes the competition is there even if you're not trying to compete against another YouTuber. So the way that I see it, is that while some may say, well, you're taking a back seat and giving Michael the spot. Yeah, I'm taking a back seat and I'm giving Michael the spot, but I'm giving it for a very good reason. Um, I've had video success in that realm with the pixels, with Google Fi topics, with visible topics. My video views have gone pretty good on those videos. Other videos that I make, people just really don't care to hear about, and that is totally fine. I'm not going to be hurt by that. I just understand that there's certain things that people come to my channel for that they want to hear. I did get some backlash when I announced that I was doing varieties on this channel. So I was going to be talking about various other things, still talking about tech, but kind of mixing things up with the podcast, jumping from tech to movies to other types of things. and just really going that route. And like some people were pretty upset, which kind of bummed me out. So I was kind of going through like a depression state this weekend. Because it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do more. Uh, but you know what? I mean, YouTube is like any business, right? Supply and demand. I was providing, you know, you like the idea of varieties? Yeah, me too. I thought it would be something completely totally different than having to always talk about tech, and phones and tech. I know people they come to hear my perspective on certain phones. I mean, I get those all the time. What do I think about the LG V60? What do I think about this? I mean, like I said in the other podcast, I did email LG USA's PR, basically just reaching out and just letting them know, like, hey, I'm very interested in the LG Velvet, and the reason why I want the LG Velvet to review that phone, like specifically review that phone, is because I really feel like that LG is slept on. You know, um, Lawrence, what's up, man? So I feel like that LG is very, very slept on, and I wanted, to really just kind of give my perspective to people about like how LG devices are. So that's the reason why I reached out to LG's PR and pretty much just like gave like the best business professional email I can give, trying to find out, how do I get a hold of a review unit? Like, I don't even care if they give me a review unit that I have to give back to them. I made it known in my email that the video will be on my perspective and will not be governed by LG. So in no way will LG tell me what to say. I will say what I want to say about it. And if they're willing to take that chance with me, then send me out a review unit. If that's not a good fit for them, well then that's fine. Totally. I'll just buy the phone when I can. But yeah, you know, uh yeah, the Velvet. I know the good things about the Velvet, but there are some things about the Velvet that I think that a lot of the other YouTubers are not really hitting on when it comes to the LG Velvet. My Daily Side, thank you for coming in. Welcome. Oh, sorry if I sound so monotone. Like I said, I don't know, for those of you guys who are just coming in right now, I am suffering from insomnia and a slight case of depression. So I did get some sleep, but it was like 3 hours of sleep. That was about it. So I am tired. My body feels tired, but my mind feels so wide awake. So I was just like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll get like extra tired if I do a podcast, because sometimes that does kind of drain me. If people are like, "How do you get drained from doing a podcast?" I mean, you're just sitting down talking to a microphone. It's like, yeah, you are, but your emotions are like a roller coaster when you're on a podcast. When you get into a topic and you're talking about something exciting, you're kind of going up, and then it kind of goes down, and it kind of whips left and right when you kind of branch out from the thing, and then you got to come back to the topic because you went far left field or far right. So I mean, it happens in a podcast. Um, so yeah, with the Pixel 4a, like I was saying, for those who missed it, I am still going to do a review video on the Pixel 4a, but the video clips, the sound bites, and everything that I had, I completely junked it. I had trashed it and deleted it about 30 minutes ago. After finishing watching Technoid's review of the Pixel 4a, I pretty much scrapped every clip that I had from my video and junked it. And Sneed, what's up, man? Appreciate you for coming in. And good afternoon, by the way, also. Um, I completely junked it because I think Technoid on the tech and like the specs and all that stuff of the Pixel 4a. I think Technoid pretty much handled it very, very well. So I would direct people to check his video out if you're wanting to know that information. But I'm still going to give my video on the Pixel 4a from solely strictly just my perspective. And that's why I junked a lot of that video clips that I had saved up that I was supposed to edit and put together and then drop today, actually. uh I just want to give Technoid more exposure. I think people going to his channel and seeing his video review, and he does mention specifications for you guys that are curious about that. If you don't know what the specs are, he does test it in various different areas, including LTE tests and all that stuff. I thought he did an amazing job. As a matter of fact, just looking at his review video, the Pixel 4a reminded me of when I first really got into doing YouTube and talking about mobile phones and just the ideas that I would come up with, going to the park and filming and things like that. I thought, it just really brought back, like old memories of when I used to do that. And so, yeah, I would I would refer people to see Technoid's review on the Pixel 4a. I think I will drop my review video this Wednesday, but my review video is going to be very different. I'm not really going to focus on specs. I'm not going to do any testing to the phone. I mean, my wife's already testing it out. So it's basically her perspective and then my perspective on it is really what you're going to get as far. And of course, I'm going to show some photo samples and stuff like that. That's the main thing. I have the Pixel 4, she has the 4a, so I can show you guys side by side comparisons of the 4 versus the 4a in photography. And that's really where I'm going to go with that. So um, yeah, that's my explanation for why the Pixel 4a review didn't come out on my end. All right, so I'm gonna switch tracks real quick and go head on over to something else. I mean, like I said, Maverick, well, good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are in this world. It's actually afternoon for me, and yeah, I'm really fighting to do this podcast, man. Oh my gosh, insomnia sucks so bad, and like depression really sucks too. But I'll get into that towards the later half of this podcast and like kind of like what I'm feeling. Um, but anyways, just real quick, I want to touch base on, hate the pixel, not me. Come on. And I know it's not the community. So I'm not talking about any member in the community of, the SMT Nation. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about randoms that happen to find my video. Hate the pixels, not me. You know what? Just straight out, I'm going to like what I like. And no one is going to tell me what I can and cannot like. You can like whatever you want to like, you can like. If you like Samsung Night all the way, go you. Go you. And I hope that Samsung is everything that you ever needed to be. And if you love it that much, I hope you tuck it in, perfectly at night and right next to you before you go to bed. That's totally cool. If it's water resistant, hopefully you're giving it a bath every day so it's nice and fresh and squeaky clean. Whatever you do to love your phone, go ahead and do it. But don't expect me to stop liking what I like just because you don't like it, And then it's a crazy thing, right? Phones. Okay. You know what? Mask off. You know what really pisses me off is when people want to use phones and declare that as a way to label you a status in life. Okay, a phone does not give you status in life. All right. You can rock an iPhone. It doesn't mean you're rich. You can rock a Pixel. It doesn't mean that you're a geeky, stupid person. You could rock, an LG Tribute. It doesn't mean you're poor. All right. I've seen wealthy people rock a mid-ranger because they're frugal with their money and they smart shop. All right. I know a person. Okay. I'm not going to mention his name. And if anyone wants to fact check, they can go ahead and look it up. All right. This guy's actually really, really good friends with my brother Ruben, but he's a good friend of mine too. And he's come into some wealth because of a tragedy that happened. He got hit by a cab here, and because the cab driver was negligent, he won his lawsuit. I'm talking about a hell of a lot of money. But the guy, you would never know that he came into that. Let's just say it's over $1 million. You would never know that he hit that kind of money because he didn't go out and buy him a chain that has a big ass medallion that's just hanging from his neck that looks like it's going to warp his neck into a hunchback. He didn't go and buy him a Rolex to put on his wrist to show wealth. And you know what? He didn't do all that. No one knew. As a matter of fact, he has a job at a fast food restaurant. I kid you not. He has a job at a fast food restaurant. He didn't need to work. With all that money that he got from the settlement, he didn't need to work. So people spare me the whole thing of statuses by phones. And if you really want to label people statuses by phones, you need Jesus or whatever religion you pray to. You need to profit from that because that's a dumb thing to be doing. Yes, dude. I kind of went off there. Yeah, he is humble. He is very humble. You know what I mean? Fast food jobs is not easy to work at. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not, man. You know what? Since you mentioned that daily side, you unlocked the daily double. I don't have the Jeopardy sound, but like whatever. But you know what? One of my audio's looking great. Cool. All right, appreciate that. I'll tell you guys about my first time that I worked at McDonald's. All right, it was horrible. I thought working at a fast food joint was easy, right? I thought making, breakfast sandwiches because I was hired on the AM shift, so I was making, sausage McMuffins, bacon, egg and cheese biscuits, and all that other stuff. And I thought it was gonna be easy to do that. I thought I was like, okay, you know what, this I got this. You know what? So who couldn't cook an egg? You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, yeah, I did. I was 17 and a half when I started working at McDonald's. And yeah, my very first day, I thought I had it. I went in there like all gun ho, like I got this. They were showing me the ropes, like they had these 6 metal rings that were, like, all together, and you would crack an egg into it, and that's what cooks it in a perfect circle. And then for the square scrambled eggs, they had this square, metal frame. You would pour the egg yolk from the carton into it, and then you would shift it back and forth to scramble it up into a perfect square. And then they were like, "Yeah, the sausages, you cook it this way, bacon, cook it this way, pay attention to your timers, pay attention to the timers and behind you. When those timers go off, it means that we can't use those sausage patties. We have to throw them out." And yeah, I thought I had this. Boy, did I ever suck. I mean, I had people in there. I had a girl in there that was talking crap about me. And she was like, "What kind of guy is he? Can't even keep up his pace." And she was just talking mad crap about me, but with every right. You know what I mean? So when people were like, I mean, and yes, I did get let go. The manager's like, "I can't use you," and I guess he told the night shift leader about me. And so when they were like talking to the night shift leader if he would take me on the shift, he was like, "I can't use him." So nobody could use me. So they had to give me that. "We regret to inform you, but it didn't work out." And back then, you had a 90-day probation period, right? So they could let you go on things. You couldn't like make a big fuss about it. And I understood that because I sucked. I sucked at it. So yeah, when anyone tells me, "Oh yeah, working fast food is so easy," no, it's not. It's not easy. And one of the big parts about working in fast food that totally sucks is the customers and how sometimes the customers behave. I mean, yes, I know there's a thing, customers are always right, but yeah, customers really feel entitled sometimes. They really feel entitled that you got to kiss their, where the sun don't shine. And yeah, no, like I'll agree to an extent that customers is always right, but I ain't gonna kiss you where the good Lord split you. So you can tuck your head between your cheeks and give yourself one if you're that type of person. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, fast food is not easy, but yeah, you know what? Labeling people with statuses based on their phones. Yeah, yeah, you got a lot to learn about life. And you know what? I'll say it right now. Being wealthy, while it may give you the freedoms to do things, being wealthy is not everything. And you can be rich without having any wealth. Like, people laugh at me, some of my friends, but I'm like, I'm a king to myself. I feel like a king. I am rich. I am rich, but I am rich because of my kids, because of like how much happiness that they give me on a day-to-day basis. I do, like I said, I have been diagnosed with NPD when I was a teen, also with ADHD. And some of the things that I suffer from, were these really weird emotional mood swings to an extent. And some of this stuff gets triggered when there's like a lot of negativity around me. So like when I hear a lot of negativity, when I hear a lot of, bashing and all this other stuff or whatever, it kind of plays into an effect. And then, obviously being the stuff that's happening all over the country right now and everything like that, that's kind of crazy. And then, politics and all that other stuff, that's kind of crazy too. Some stuff, that, like I was talking to my sister about, which I'm gonna share later on here. This is an important thing about the protect our keiki thing. I gotta like throw something out there. And talk about it because I'm kind of like disappointed in that group. And I'll explain why here in a little while. Um, but yeah, let's see. I still use the iPhone SE one generation, and my second phone is Umidigi A5 Pro. I'm happy with my phones, not the high end, but works. Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of like okay. So like in a nutshell, if you guys were to ask me like what is the major problems with the Pixel 4a, it's going to be, and Steed will agree with this, it's going to be the longevity in it. It's not as far as like its connectivity to the network, because like yes, you know what, like you don't necessarily have to go out and get you a 5G phone right now. Okay, you don't have to. At least for me, when I talk about that I'm okay on LTE, it's only because that I don't feel like I have to go buy a 5G capable smartphone right now. But will I say that 5G is not important? No, it is absolutely important, and it's important that that is done. It's done well. I don't know if I said hey to Caleb. I'm sorry if I did miss you, but thanks for joining me, Caleb. Really appreciate it. I know I saw your comment about the audio is great, but I didn't see that one. But I do like to be polite and address everybody. Um, you're a rich in personality. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, that'd be like the longevity as far as network connectivity for 5G when that rolls out and it's capable. That's the only downside to the Pixel 4a. Now there's the Pixel 4a 5G, which is going to cost you about $150 more, and you do get a little bit more with that. You know what? I'm just going to throw this out there for anyone out there. If you bought the Pixel 4a now for $350, you could probably make some of that money back by the time the Pixel 4a 5G drops. I mean, you could sell it on OfferUp for $300, take $50 off because you've had it for like, I don't know, let's say call ballpark it a month. So it's still fairly new. Sell it at 300, and then you would just have to work your way out to get another 200 to get the Pixel 4a 5G, and that has longevity, obviously, to an extent, because it will support the newer 5th generation technology to an extent. Okay. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, a lot of these 5G phones are like the earlier models. So like, a few years down the road when 5G is like well rolled out and we have more 5G devices, just about every device is 5G and even mid-ranges are 5G. We're gonna look back on the Pixel 4a 5G, the Pixel 5, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and all those, and look at just be like, yeah, those are the early grandpas of the 5G era. So yeah, just to kind of like throw that out there. Let's see. I really wish StreamYard would let it like auto post these, right? Like if I like had like a toggle to click, so it would like auto, show the comments. That way, I don't miss any. And yeah, when 5G gets better and prices goes down the next 5 years, then I'll get one of them. Yeah, around $200. Yeah, definitely. You have to beg on your hands and knees for a napkin. It seems like these days. Yeah, so anyways, that's my thoughts on that. And those people that want to hate me because I like pixels, fine, go ahead and hate me. That gives you some semblance to your life. But if it does, that's pretty sad that you gotta hate a nobody like me, because I'm a nobody. All right. I do this on YouTube. I kid you not. Only one time in my entire time being on YouTube has anyone ever recognized me from YouTube, and it was a guy that worked at Walmart. I don't know if I ever shared the story with you guys. I think I did in like videos ago. But if you guys haven't heard the story, I'll just share it with you right now. So I went to Walmart with my wife and kids. We went to go shop, get some stuff. Yes, I shop at Walmart. Woo! I shop at Walmart. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's not in the status realm of what we need him to be. Like, okay, all right, elite. Anyways, so I went to the electronics section and I was looking at a power bank. I don't know if I have it with me here. No, I don't have it with me here. But the power bank was, it was from Anchor. It was a fast charging power bank with 2 USB ports. So you can fast charge 2 things at the same time. It was a 10,050 milliamp. And like the power bank was heavy. I mean, I swear if I grabbed this thing and threw it at someone, if I threw it at their forehead, it would easily split the forehead open. That's how heavy this thing was, made out of metal. And so this employee from Walmart like runs up, like literally like runs up quickly, and he's like, can I help you with anything? Is there anything you want to look at? And I'm looking at him like, whoa, I never have anyone come up to me. Like usually in Walmart in the electronics section, you got to go hunt the person that is running that section to get them to open the case to get you something out of it. Never had anyone come up to me and offer me customer service. So I was like kind of happy about it. Like, I told him like, yeah, I'm kind of looking at this power bank here. I think I'm going to go with this one. If you can bring that one out for me so I can buy it. He's like, yeah. He's all happy. He's all cool about it. I'm like, oh, great. This is awesome. He opens the glass case, takes the box, the power bank box out of there, closes it and relocks it. And he's just, while he's locking the lock to the glass case, he's like, I really enjoy your videos. And I didn't know what the hell to say from that point. Like, what? And then he kind of stood up, and I guess he was kind of like nervous, like, did he make a mistake and mistaken me for somebody else? Or so he was like kind of like, little nervous. And I all I said was, "Oh, cool, thanks," And then he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "I watch all your videos about Boost Mobile." He's like, "I have Boost Mobile myself," and that's what gave it away. Like, okay, he really knows who I am, and so I was like, yeah, I talked with him a little bit. We talked about Boost Mobile phones. We talked about what I thought about the newer phones. He was looking to buy a new one from Boost that just came out. I think it was the LG Stylo 5. Um, anyhow, so since then, when I go to Walmart, I go to electronics to look for him to check on him and see how he's doing. And he still works there. Talked to him a few times, and that's just me, right? He didn't ask for an autograph or anything like that. Obviously, I'm not that kind of celebrity. I'm not even a celebrity at all. But he made me feel like a freaking celebrity at that moment. But because he was really cool about it and everything. I go to check on him at Walmart all the time. I always go to visit him, like just to say hi and talk a little bit with him. Because if there's like downtime and he's bored, hey, who wouldn't mind a nice conversation? And I do it slick where it's like, if I feel like there's any management watching, I ask him questions about products so it looks like that he's providing service to a customer. And yeah, we just talk story for a little bit. Try not to hold him up too much because I don't want him to fall behind on his workload. So maybe like a 10 minute conversation at max. And then but before the pandemic, I shake hands with him and then I would go away. Now it's just like, fist bump or elbow bump, whatever. Really cool person. It's funny because his name is Gene, but it's not the Gene that we know that has a YouTube channel. But his name is Gene. And Gene, if you watch this, yeah, shout out to you, man. Next time I go to Walmart, I'll probably stop by. But yeah, that was the only time someone has ever noticed me. Other than that, no one has ever noticed me here in Phoenix. Nobody. Um, I don't know. Well, I don't know if they did notice me, but they just didn't come up to me and say anything because they didn't know if it was me or not. I don't know, but yeah, I've never really had anyone come up to me, so I'm nobody. I'm nobody, so I don't know why people are like that. But anyways, guys, so moving on from that, I do want to show you guys that I do have a gaming channel, and on this gaming channel, I am going to have open commentary. All right, so I'll be doing some gameplay. Um, you know, that's for sure. Yeah, it was nice, Kathy. It really was. Um, that's awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. And you know what? If you guys lived in my city and I came to where you guys worked at, where or maybe came across you guys in public or whatever, I'm approachable. You can approach me and just say hi. You know what I mean? If you're not sure it's me, just like utter out "Aloha Android," and I'm gonna turn around because obviously that was the moniker for the channel before I shifted to varieties, and so but yeah, I'm gonna know. And no, I don't mind talking. Um, if you were like, can I get a picture? That would be kind of weird because I've never had anyone ask me to get a picture, but um, but I'm approachable. You can talk to me. You can talk to me about whatever. It doesn't even have to be about tech. You can talk to me about food. I like food. Um, yeah, I'm approachable. That's all I'm gonna say. For anyone out there that sees me and wants to say hi, just say hi. I'm cool. I'm cool about it. But don't grab on me. Because like sometimes there's always that weird person, right? That's like, stalkerish. The one that's got that twitch in his eye. You got to be kind of careful of those. But anyways, so I have a gaming channel. I'm actually on Twitch now, and I have a YouTube channel to back up that Twitch channel. So I'm gonna share this for you guys so you guys can see them. So we'll start off with the Twitch channel. So there we go. Here it is. It says that I'm offline. It is Tito LOL, but the O is actually a 0. So it's Tito underscore L0L LOL. The concept of the LOL and why it's in the username is because I'm going to be playing games. Some of them that's on Stadia are jump scare horror games. So you guys are gonna see me like, get really. I'm not very good with scary movies. I love scary movies, but I'm not very good with them. You know, I'm not very good with scary movies at all. So, playing a jump scare game, you know, yeah, and that's gonna be very interesting. What games do you play? Well, I did a test on this channel So when this podcast is over, if you guys want to check out that live stream I did, which was I call it game night. I was playing a game called Little Nightmare, and it's on Google Stadia. I have the Google Stadia Pro edition. Well, I paid for the subscription actually. Um, which I decided to play that game. Thought it was interesting. Um, Started playing it, and yeah, there was a scene. I know Oscar Federico was in there. Uh, Big John was in there also, and he was watching live. And your son loves jump scares. I like being scared, but I'm such a wuss to it. Uh, you tried Last of Us. You know what? My oldest son Ezekiel was playing that game, and that game scared the crap out of me. But yeah, I was playing Little Nightmare, and I kind of, like biznatched out, just like was like, well, guy. Yeah, I said, watch last night's live stream. I know it didn't get a lot of views because it's not normally what I do. It's kind of new, but I'll be like, I'll do like a game night podcast on here once in a while, but most of my live gaming is going to be on the YouTube channel on Twitch. I'll be simul streaming to those, like I'm simul streaming right now to both YouTube and my Facebook page. I'll be doing a simulcast on Twitch and my YouTube game channel. So this is my Twitch channel. Again, it's Tito_L0L, which is Tito LOL. You guys will laugh out loud because I don't know. I guess I do have a different personality when it's completely away from technology and just something else. Um, and I guess I'm a bit more animated, and maybe I think I'm funny when I'm actually not. I don't know. That's for you guys to judge. You guys can give me the comedy award or not. Let's put it in a better context. You can give me the comedy award because I'm funny, or you can give me the hook, like that long hook back in the 50s where I used to grab people that sucked and pull them off stage. You can give me that, whatever. But I wanted to, and the commentary is not just going to be just based on the game that I'm playing. We're going to talk about different things. I may even touch into politics, which is a big no-no to some, because it's like that is forbidden realms, because if you do not agree with everybody else, you will burn in flames. And I understand that. But you know what? I'm very open to everybody's side of things, whether you agree on the political sides of things that I look at politically, or you don't agree with them. Doesn't mean that I'm going to change my look of who you are. I judge a person by who they are, not what they resonate with. You know what I mean? Because I think that's pretty stupid to end friendships and do all kinds of stuff like that. See Ova, what's up, man? How's it going, bro? And you know what? That was pretty cool. I was watching you on TK's live stream last night, celebrating 25,000 subscribers for TK's Garage. So that's pretty cool. Good to see you up there. Yep. Everybody say hello to see Ova. But yeah, you know what? I'm thinking about, on the game channel and on Twitch, I want to talk about different things, like whatever, current events. And, maybe I might make fun of a little bit of things, but I'm not stupid to make fun of like, hardcore situations. You know what I mean? Like, if a tragedy happened, I'm not going to make a joke out of that. But mostly I'll make jokes out of myself. And then of course, the games that I play, like, Little Nightmare. You guys can see me become a little biznatch live on a live stream when I, scream like a little girl. Because yeah, I get scared easily. I love scary movies, but at the same time, like my wife will tell you guys, in her way, she'll pull it more eloquently than I can about how much of a wuss I am. She gets irritated because I'm like, let's say like I want to watch that movie, like The Curse of La Llorona, right? Good stuff, right? Kind of tied in with in a way, it's kind of tied in with the Conjuring movies and whatnot, right? But kind of branched off. And like, I wanted to watch it because we always hear, like, at least for like most Hispanics, Mexicans, they have the story. And it's La Llorona. Now, if you guys don't know the story about her, basically the movie kind of follows it correctly. So, but I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it alone. So then, I'll tell my wife, and she doesn't like to watch those types of things. She thinks they're stupid. So I'm like, hey, babe, watch a movie with me. She's like, what are we watching? And I'm like, just lay down. I get her comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give her like a little massage, get her comfortable, have her spoon with me a little bit. And I kick the TV on and put on La Llorona. And then she looks at me with this pissed off face, like, like, no, you're going to get nightmares. No, 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 no. Because sometimes I do suffer from like, what do they call it? Um, Night terrors. I still suffer from that. Like, I don't remember what the dreams are, but it scares my wife because sometimes I just sit up out of nowhere and just start screaming really loud. I think it happens maybe like once every other month, and it still freaks her out when it happens. But then when she, she doesn't want to shake me, but she tries to like talk so I hear her voice, so I come out of it. And when I come out of it, she asks me if I'm okay. She tries to calm me down. She asks me if I remember you know, what was happening, and I don't remember anything of it. Like what was in my dream that had me yell out loud. I know it's kind of weird about me. Um, I like non-scripted personalities, so no movies besides Ace Ventura. Besides Ace Ventura. My gosh, man, I love Ace Ventura. That was a classic. My wife hates it because every time we pull into a parking lot, I like to grab Jim Carrey's slogan, like his saying on it. So like she'll be like, "Do you think we fit here?" And I'll be like, "I don't know, just go for it." And she'll like go for it. She'll park, and I'll be like, "Fits like a glove." And she's like, she gives me this evil death stare, like she wants to slap me. Oh, Tito's gonna open Pandora's box. Politics and religion. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a touchy thing, but you know what? I do have faith in everybody that we can have dialogue without resorting to hating each other. Like we don't have to prove the rest of the world right and say that, you know, you are voting for so and so to be president and I'm voting for the opposition. It doesn't mean that we have to hate each other. I'm not going to hate you because you're not voting for the same president that I'm voting for. Um, why would we? Because 10 years from now, they're not even going to be presidents anymore. So we're going to hate each other on that. Like I just think that that's dumb. Like we need more love in this world. We need more understanding and and compassion, less hate and you know um being divisive and all that stuff. Um, ATO to be cheap, get two Echo Dots and sync it together to have good. Yes, yes, because you know what? Actually I don't even need to get Echo Dots. Um, my yeah, what's this thing? What is this? This thing? Yeah. Oh, what the hell is it? God, what I have? This is what happens when you're going to get 3 hours of sleep and you have insomnia. You forget things that's normal. Nest Mini, the Nest Mini, the Nest Mini. That can be paired to be used uh home studio speakers for like when you watch movies and stuff like that. It's really cool. I tried it this morning. But yeah, well, that's a lot. Yeah, I talk when I sleep. Oh yeah, seems comical to you. See, like um, did I ever tell you the story about how okay, so like when my dad was stationed in Clark Air Force Base, they literally the nanny literally thought that I had came in contact with the devil. Do you guys want to hear that story? Because I'll tell you that story. I know that's so cool. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So before I end that, let me screen share the YouTube channel. I think you guys already know what the YouTube channel looks like, but I'm just gonna still screen share it anyway, so you guys can see it. If you guys subscribe to that YouTube channel for the gaming, that's fine. That one's Tito LOL. The O is actually the letter O and not a zero. Um, yeah. So you guys see, I already did some videos and stuff like that. The Dan Hibiki from Street Fighter Alpha 3, that video. But I'm gonna do like live gameplay. So, anyways, yeah, you guys can subscribe to that. I got 18 subscribers right now, so we'll see where that goes. Um, out of all horror films, the one that stands out for me is the original Exorcist. Yeah, uh, towards the end of that was kind of weird. Well, not towards the end of it, but like, the moment where the girl grabs the cross and what happens, let Jesus. Yeah. That was kind of weird. So anyhow, why is it telling me that there's new comments and it's not even going? Um StreamYard is acting weird. Okay, that happened. Oh yes, let's hear it. Okay. All right, so because this actually kind of freaks me out. All right, so I'll try to tell you the story so you guys can visualize it in your head. I will never watch it again. The movie I could not sleep for days. The original or the reboot? Still can't watch that. Okay. So, we were when I was about 4 years old. My dad was stationed in Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines. All right. We had stayed in the Philippines up until the Mount Pinatubo eruption that happened back in I think it was in 91. I think 1990 or 1991 when it happened. But anyways, this event actually took place in 1986. I was 4 years old, and so we lived because there wasn't base housing ready for us just yet. We were actually renting a house off base. Um, and the township area was called Josefaville. If you guys want to Google map that and see Clark Air Force Base and see the outskirts of it and see what that looks like, you guys get an idea of it. But anyway, so on the street that we were renting the house at, our house was pretty much like in the middle. It was like in the middle of the two ends of the street. We were in the middle area, and if you stepped out of my house and through the gate to the street, if you turn to the right, if you head to that end of the street, at the end of the street on the right side, there's a kids park. Has a slide, swing sets, seesaw, merry-go-round, and all that stuff. So I was 4. My sister, she was already in school. She was in let's see, I think she was in 3rd grade. She's 4 years older than me. And so she was off to school. We had a nanny that really didn't look after me. Like she kept constantly bagging like little Ziploc bags of like Bisquick, the pancake mix, and trying to sell it to people in the neighborhood to make side money. Eventually she got fired by my dad when he caught her doing it. But so she wasn't really paying attention to me. And I would always ask my dad how come I couldn't go to the park until my sister Sonia came home from school. And my dad would always tell me, I don't want you going to the park by yourself because most of the kids in the neighborhood, they were going to Grissom Elementary. They're at school. There's not any kids to play with. You would be the only kid in that park. And it's dangerous for you to be by yourself. So this is one of those times where I should have listened to my dad and actually did what he said to do. But maybe me. No, I have to test the waters. So that day, I decided to leave the house. I went down the street. When I saw the park, right when I got to the last house, the corner of their gate, you see the park. I ran into the park, just ran in there. I was happy. I was happy because there was nobody there. So the slide was mine, the swings was mine, the merry-go-round was mine, the freaking the jungle gym and everything, it was all mine. I didn't have to wait my turn. I didn't have to have the other kids who bullied me, push me out of the way so they can go on the ride. I had the whole dang park to myself. I was the king of it. And I've probably been playing there for like 3 hours by myself. Um it was right around, I would say probably close to when the time that the kids got out of school. The kids got out of school like at 3:45 and they were bussed home on a school bus. So they didn't get like my sister didn't get to the house till about like 4:30. So I would say it was probably like around that time they were getting out of school. And so the way that the park was like say like these are the two streets. So the street that I lived on, and then there was another street on this side, and the park was in between. And so there was houses right here, and then there was a street this way. So it was open 3 ways of the park. So on the other street that was behind the street that I lived on, a man wearing a suit, white shirt, black blazer, black slacks, black shoes. He comes walking into the park, and I'm thinking that okay, this has to be like a dad, someone that's looking for somebody. Um, Although that I was at first afraid, as he came closer and closer to the jungle gym and the the park equipment, my fear was still there, but it felt like it wasn't there. So it was like my first instinct was to start getting down from the jungle gym, start walking. towards my house and try to run to my house. That was my first instinct, but I didn't do it. I don't know why I didn't do it. And you know, the fear of him was there, but it felt like I didn't fear him, but I was terrified. Anyways, so I thought he was gonna go away, and he didn't walk towards where I was, so I thought he had left the park. And when I got down from the jungle gym and I was approaching the slide, the big giant slide, I started climbing up the the ladder of the slide. And as I got closer and closer to the top, I found him sitting on top of the slide. And I should have let go and just fell back down to the sand and ran. But he turned and he looked at me, so I got even more scared. And the messed up thing is I don't remember what he said to me. He spoke to me, obviously, because he had me come towards him more. He actually sat me on his lap, like the leg of his lap where his knee area was, and he had this book with him. I don't remember his words, how he spoke to me, how I understood him. He was talking to me, and like I kid you not, like my older sister will tell you guys this on the next live stream I do with her. In that book, it had crazy drawings, like demons, monsters, these types of things, and he had like this creepy ass eye to him. Like his eyes were creepy as hell. And as much as I try to remember what he said to me, I can't remember how his voice sounded. I can't remember what he said to me, but I was deadly scared of what he was showing me in that book. And he didn't abduct me. He didn't put any, like he didn't cut me or do any type of like weird ritual thing. He showed me this book, which probably he had showed me the pages of this book for probably about half an hour. And yeah, then he let me go. I slid down the slide. He stayed sitting there, and I got up. I started to run to go home. I ran. I looked back. He was sitting at the slide still, and he was waving as I was running. Um, and like I probably looked forward so I would make sure I didn't fall or run into a wall. And it was only for like a split couple of seconds, but when I looked back at the slide, he was gone. And so I went home. I didn't want to tell my dad that I went to the park without his permission because I didn't want to get grounded. And that very same night, after we hung out with my dad and we watched TV for a little bit. It was time for bed. We usually go to bed like about 8:30 at night. I went to bed. Um, I had a nightmare. I had a nightmare of being chased by those monsters from the book, and I was screaming in my sleep. My dad came running into my room because he said that my scream was not like a normal kid scream. It was like he thought someone was in the room with me and that I was being attacked. So he came to to come save me. Found out I was having like a really bad night terror. I was like in a cold sweat. So he told me to go to my sister's room, and he asked my sister if she would let me sleep in her room with her, so I wasn't by myself. My sister's always been nurturing and caring about me. She's always protective of me, so she was like, yeah. And so I climbed into her bed. I slept with my head towards the footboard and my feet towards the headboard, and obviously her head was by the headboard and her foot was by the footboard. And then I was able to get some sleep. I think it was like a week later, I told my dad about what happened, and thinking that my dad would be a little empathetic about what happened. I was totally wrong. He got his thick leather belt, and my butt was sore for about 4.5 hours. I got whooped. However, my dad had told this story to one of his coworkers, and one of his coworkers had, I guess, told his wife, and they had a nanny that was taking care of their kids, and the nanny had told my dad's coworker what she suspected the guy was, and the guy told my dad, and my dad, he's Catholic, but he doesn't really follow it. So they brought the lady over to talk to me, his coworker's nanny that they hired. She came to my dad's house. She talked to me. I told her, I said, so she again told my dad, like, it would be wise to take me to church. It'd be wise because in that area, they had a Catholic church that our nanny, Lena, started taking me to every Sunday. And she suspected that I had a run-in with the devil. And till this day, my sister, she always asks me if I ever seen the guy again. And like the other times that I seen him, I don't know if it was just like my head playing, games with me, because it was a very traumatic point when I was a kid. And I've seen him once in Longview, Texas. The same way, he didn't change, but I don't think it was real. I think it was just my mind playing tricks on me or whatever. I seen in Longview, Texas, and then another time here about 6 years ago here in Phoenix. Um, but it was traumatic, like I still could vividly, like, if I was a good artist, I could probably draw you exactly what he looked like and put it right now in front of you guys, and you guys will see exactly what he looks like. That's how vivid my memory is of this guy. It's just I can't remember what he said or how his voice sounds. Really weird. Um, and like I said, that is a creepy story that happened to me in life. The next time I have my older sister on the podcast, I'll um, I'll let her share, what she wants to say about it. Or you guys don't even have to wait for her to come on my podcast. If you guys follow her on Instagram or on Facebook, on Facebook, it's SR Gomes. That's her Facebook handle. You can ask her yourself. It was a crazy experience. But anyways, yeah. So before I close out this podcast, I do want to give you guys an update on what's going on with Protect Our Keiki. And my sister doesn't know I'm going to talk about this, but I do want to talk about this because my sister's kind of going through a bit of a tough time right now. She hasn't been very active with Protect Our Keiki only because of a few things that they decided to do. And I'm actually going to screen share this, and I want you. I need you guys' help. I need you guys' opinion to see if you guys see it the same way that I do. Okay, so I'll bring up their website here in a second. But the group that my sister was working with, they were just a regular group, just a group of people that was sign waving to try and stop human trafficking, child sex trafficking in Hawaii. Um, the person who, I guess, quote unquote, founded that group decided to turn the group into a nonprofit organization, something that my sister was strongly against. She didn't want to become or make it become a nonprofit organization because when they were sign waving and when she was live streaming on Facebook about it, they were referencing a nonprofit organization called Ho'ola Napua, which was already receiving donations and funding to help build. Right now, their project is they're building a home that for victims to stay, so victims can seek counseling, get help, eventually gain part of their life back as they're recovering from the traumatic event in their life. And then when they're ready to go back into the world, the organization will help them get their own place and get them situated with a job and get them going good, so that way they can still live their life even though a traumatic thing like being trafficked and whatnot happened to them. So that's the reason why my sister didn't want to have Protect Our Keiki become a nonprofit organization, because it would directly compete against Ho'ola Napua. Um, so she wanted to just continue to do her sign waving, but she wanted to move away from the group. And she had talked to me last night. I had given her some advice. I had told her that it felt like to me that the group, because they became a nonprofit organization and they're seeking out donations and all this other stuff, that you know, I felt like they were profiting off her story. They were profiting off her pain and others as well, because there's three other women. So they have three women on their website that they shared their stories. They put my sister in there, but my sister did not write. She did not type out her story and shared her story because she, just weird to her how all this was going. So as you know, she talked to me last night. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up the site here so I have it ready for screen share. She talked to me last night about it, and she was like, she felt bad because she's like, if I walked away from it, I mean, like when they were doing the sign waving before they became a nonprofit organization, um, KITV News Hawaii interviewed her. She shared her story about what happened to her, and when she went to the state capitol to to help Ho'ola Napua, She told her story in front of a lot of people who attended the event. Her and another friend of hers, who was also a victim, shared their stories at that event. And so, anyways, um, you can say in a way like, my sister has kind of been like a front running person for Protect Our Keiki. And when they all talked about becoming a nonprofit organization, she was against it because she's like, we have Ho'ola Napua. We already have an organization that is trying to combat human trafficking, child trafficking, sex trafficking in Hawaii. They are trying to help rape victims. They are trying to do a lot. They're building a home to try to give a place for people who have been victimized, a place to live and recover to gain their life back. If Protect Our Keiki becomes a nonprofit organization and starts seeking funding, they'll be competing against Ho'ola Napua. And Ho'ola Napua is not very aggressive. They're not out there in your face, like Protect Our Keiki has been. So my sister fears like, they're going to take away a lot of help and resources that Ho'ola Napua would need to complete the project of building that house. So my sister talked to me about it. I said, "Hey, you know what? Like, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It sounds like that's just a step that you don't want to do, and you can basically declare yourself a free agent, and explain to the active members of Protect Our Keiki that look, while you guys decided to go and become a nonprofit organization, I have no animosity towards you guys. I'm a free agent. I'll continue to help you guys out. Like when you guys do your sign waving events, I'll come and join your guys' sign waving events, but um, I can't commit myself and commit myself to this organization." And I told her, like, you know what? If there should be no animosity. There should be no animosity. They shouldn't be trying to compete against you because I told her like her and three other people want to go ahead and still do sign waving events once if the lockdown in Hawaii doesn't happen, they want to continue to do that. And I told her like you and the other, two people, you guys could be a coalition since you guys don't want to be registered as a nonprofit organization. You just want to be everyday people that is out there trying to spread awareness, right? So anyway, she had me take a look at her website, and this is where I got a little alarmed. So I'm gonna share this with you guys. I'll make it full screen, so you guys can see it along with me. So I'll choose this, and we'll go here. Let me just make it full screen so you guys can see the entire website as I go through it. All right, so this is their website. It just launched a couple of days ago, right? And then they got this thing called "Take the hashtag 2020 Protect Our Keiki Challenge." And so here's where things start to get a little bit weird. I'm like, okay, so this is their homepage on their website, and it says, "Aloha, help us, hashtag protect our keiki, and secure the vision we have for them." So their statement in there says, "Take the 2020 Protect Our Keiki challenge to help us protect our keiki and secure the vision we have for them. Your support and contributions will enable us to achieve our goals and improve the way of life for our keiki," which means children. Anytime I say keiki, that's Hawaiian for children. And it goes on to say, "With your donation of $20.20 or more, we will send you a free hashtag Protect Our Keiki decal so you can display it to the world that you accepted the challenge and stand with us to protect our keiki. Mahalo and God bless." Then it has the PayPal donation link right here. Okay. So you have that. And then it tells you right here, aloha, mahalo, which means thank you. So they try to break down some of the Hawaiian words for people to understand. Thank you for taking interest in Protect Our Keiki. We look forward to connecting with you. Please explore around, see what we are doing, what we are, and what we stand for. And they have some, clip art and things like that. Now, here's our mission statement. It says, "Protect Our Keiki works to protect, inform, educate while incorporating both Hawaiian culture values and Christian values with, the Maka'aina, which is people of the land, that foster an environment of wellness for our keiki. What we have done so far," they said, "help locate runaway, kids of Hawaii, inform and educate on the prevention of child sex trafficking, child abuse, child bullying, cyberbullying, establish strong bonds with survivors and their families of said forms of abuse, connected with survivors and their family with appropriate resources to bolster physical and emotional healing and strengthening, families across the state of Hawaii." Okay. So, and it talks about their values. All right. So I mean, nothing too bad with this, right? Let me go back to the comments here real quick. Um, so they asked her to talk about, her you know, like if they could use her story. She is of like, no. You know what I mean? Um slash slash Jason, thanks for being here. Yeah, I mean they wanted to put her story, but they don't want to. Tech Love and Mama, hi, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. Um So, anyways, nothing wrong here, but this is where it starts to get a bit sketchy. Um, so as you're looking around the site, you can see more information about them. They tell a little bit more about themselves. They gained stuff with respect with the HPD. But this is where I got a little alarmed at. So this is where you got to follow along with me, right? So this is what they do, obviously. And it says Hawaiian cultural programs. Protect Our Keiki is very honored to announce that we are supported by the Royal Order of Kamehameha and the Hawaiian Kingdom. We plan to instill the Hawaiian culture back into our kids and their families by offering traditional Hawaiian lessons at our upcoming events and programs. Okay, look, I have nothing against Hawaiian culture being retaught because I do know in schools in Hawaii they have taken away Hawaiian history. When I was in school in seventh grade, we had Hawaiian history. We had Hawaiian history in our schools, but they've taken it out of schools, and a lot of Hawaiians are upset that they did that because, yes, it's true. If you go to Oahu, the island that I lived on, you're not going to meet someone that is 100% pure blood Hawaiian. They're going to be mixed. They're going to be, Hawaiian, Korean, Japanese, Hawaiian, Filipino, Tahitian, Samoan, Hawaiian, uh, Hawaiian, Caucasian, Black, Japanese. I mean, there's always mixed. The only island that has, I believe, 100% like pure blood Hawaiians is, I want to say Niihau, which is owned by the Robinson family, and they are kept away from the rest of the other islands. So because the full-blooded Hawaiian race is dying out. Their numbers are dwindling, and so what they're trying to do is they're keeping them away from other people, so that way they hope to kind of save the full-blooded Hawaiian bloodline. Um, People have their opinions on that. I'm not one to judge. They do it. They do as they do. But for this thing, I mean, what if the victim is Black American? What if the victim is Japanese? What if the victim is Caucasian? You know, why would they need to have the Hawaiian culture taught to them? They've been victimized in sex trafficking. I mean, that's what Protect Our Keiki stood for. It was to rescue, save, and help those who have been victimized by sex trafficking, by rape to those extents. So why are they concerned about doing something like this? They should really be focusing on what they stand for. Protect Our Keiki stood for, which was that. So I was like, okay. The next thing here that they have on their website is important life skills program. And what they want to do, is for the children and their families, they will have the opportunity to learn very important life skills such as fishing, diving, hunting, raising vegetables, planting trees, raising farm and ranch animals. They will have the opportunity to learn how to prepare and cook these foods by chefs and restaurant owners here in Hawaii. Our children will also have the opportunity to learn different basic skills from trades such as carpentry, masonry, welding, plumbing, electrical, and auto mechanics. Another set of skills they will have the opportunity to learn will be financial fundamentals, importance of investing, building credit, purchasing property, home, resume writing, and career building. See, like these things are all fine and dandy, but again, you're asking for donations and funding to do this. I'm sorry to say this, but someone who's been a runaway, who's been victimized, by either being raped or being trafficked, I think the last thing they want to do in their road of recovery is be taught how to cook. That could come a little bit later once their recovery, has helped them heal a little bit more and has brought them a little bit closer back to life than what it was when they were being trafficked. And this is stuff that they're just going to give everyday people in the community. That's fine. But you're taking funding to do all these things, and it's like it doesn't need to be there. This doesn't need to be. So I mean, it's I don't know. It just sounds mad sketchy to me. And then I was wondering, when are they going to talk about the healing programs or healing things? And they have healing programs. Our healing programs will involve a certified counselor, which they do have a member of their group who is a certified counselor, but it's one person. They have a certified counselor and survivors to help fellow survivors. So I guess they're talking about my sister and the other couple of women who are survivors to help them emotionally heal. We will lead our children and their family to resources they need to further help their physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. So obviously, if their counselor is not equipped to help them, they will send them to get professional help. Which I thought was crazy. So I'm like, okay. No, that's that. Let me check back in with the comments here. The site looks good. I mean, yeah, it looks good, but there's problems with it. There's red flags in my opinion. Um, yeah, we gotta look closely, Red Rum. We gotta look closely. Mutt blood, don't shoot me. Oh, okay. So, all right. We're caught up with those comments. All right, let's go back to the. Well, I'm gonna go back to the page itself. Um, missing and runaway kids. So they have a link to a site that already lists missing and runaway kids. I believe in the future they're going to add more here. That's why it says add, but I'm not entirely sure if they're going to, or if they're just going to leave this up here. If they leave this link here and that's it, that's crazy because I'll pop it open. Well, actually, you guys don't see it. I have to screen share that. But if you guys went to this link, I'll just tell you guys right now. Some of the information about a missing runaway has no photo of the child. Some do, some don't. So it doesn't really help. Um, I thought they could have done better here. And then they have testimonies from survivors. This is where they wanted my sister to post her thing and she didn't. Um, and then again, donate is right here underneath them. So I mean, donate is there under testimonies. You have their resources. They name out their resources. They load the file. Break free. They go in there and give all this information out, right? Information that could be found Google searching. So it's nice to have it in one place. I give them that much. And then, if we go to more, so like they have like a live stream and blog. They're going to be doing that. They have daily scriptures, daily Christian scriptures. Here's a problem with that I have. Okay, I know that the members of the group are religious or Christian, but there are people of other faiths, and when you identify yourself as a specific faith in your cause, some people are a little hesitant to seek you for help because maybe you won't be you won't be inclusive to them because of their religious beliefs may be different from yours. There's a lot of red tape here when it comes to this type of stuff because it's like, I mean, I get it. It's fine and dandy that they're Christians and this is their calling to do something like this. That's totally cool. But do you really have to kind of push that? I mean, for something that's supposed to be helping victims again, you gotta think victims, right? If you were trafficked, if you were physically abused, if your body was used, and you're angry and you're upset, you're torn emotionally, and you're on the verge of suicide, the last thing you want to do is deal with this, right? Because you're already gonna be a little, like a little cautious about this group because you can't trust anybody anymore because the world that you've seen has been stripped away from you by some idiotic, crazy people with sick minds. So they have all this information to meet their team. This is the guy who started it originally. So like he's like the head person. This is his wife. She's like second to him. Supporter that's this guy Lawrence joined it because of my sister. This person joined it because of my sister, and and of course there's my sister. And you see her and Vernell did not share their story. This woman did, Kalena. She decided to share her story, and the counselor that they have. So, yeah, my sister was very hesitant to share her story because, again, she didn't want to go nonprofit. She did not want to take away from Hole in the Pool, which I understand. But as you go through various different things here, I mean, one of the things that's very prevalent about this site, obviously, is donate. Um, they're already looking for donations, which hey, it's fine. They're looking for it for a great cause. My problem. When did the organization launch? 3 days ago. Well, the organization actually became like a nonprofit organization, I think, like 3 weeks ago, and they just launched their site 3 days ago. Baby Yoda, what's up? So, like, okay, so my problem with all this is a lot of the things that they want to do, it benefits people in a good way, but it doesn't benefit victims. So you're out there sign waving to spread awareness for sex trafficking of child and adults and victims of rape and all that stuff. You're out there sign waving it to spread awareness. You're talking about that you're trying to end this this business on this in the state of Hawaii because they can try to battle it all over the world, but it'll take time to grow. But they can focus on the state that they're in right now, and that's great. I stand with that. But they're asking for donations, and that's fine too. But what they're going to use the resources for doesn't benefit someone who's a victim. It benefits just a person. So I understand where my sister's coming from and why she wants to separate from that group and just be a free agent. She doesn't want to oppose them, but she doesn't feel right about it. And then my sister's a very spiritual person. She talks with God to herself. She prays to God a lot. And just something inside her doesn't feel right. And I don't blame her. So when she asked for my advice last night, I told her about all the red tape. Like, hey, something's just not right here. Why do they want to teach people how to farm or raise vegetables? Like, someone just went through a very, very huge traumatic ordeal. Why do you want to teach them those skill sets right now? I mean, the most important thing right now is getting them help. You know what I would have done if I was leading that organization? If I wanted people to donate to the organization, um, my thing would be that I would, with the donations that are given, it would help us to procure a location for us to host monthly seminars for both adults and children. They will be in separate classes, so do separate seminar times. Um, the ones for adults will be teaching them signs, things to look for, how to protect your kids both on the cyber side and in the regular streets. It would do, like we would have, like, law enforcement there to kind of give their take. We would give them all the info they needed to kind of help them out. For children, we would do what Dare does, stranger danger, don't talk to strangers. We would talk about the being safe online. You can't just trust anybody on Facebook, those types of things. Like, yeah, you would have to, rent a spot to be able to hold these seminars. Obviously, you're gonna need to, have like snacks and drinks for people that's there, especially if it's gonna be like an hour long or 2 hour long thing. But it would help educate a lot of people as well with the funding. You know, they would, since Ho'olanapua is building the house, they would joint effort with Ho'olanapua to finish the house for victims to go and stay at. So those are some of the things that I think that would be beneficial. Yeah, there's no pictures. Um, and that's what my sister's worried about. Um, if I was a victim of such, I'd expect nothing less than a professional to begin with. Not only if their teachings don't work. Um, but yeah, like all the other stuff is fine and dandy, you know what I mean? But those are things that you can do for like the afterwards. Now, If they were in joint with Ho'olonopua, that would actually make sense because then Ho'olonopua would be basically doing a lot of the recovery, and then Protect Our Keiki would be doing a lot of the help coming out of the recovery when you're ready to go back into the world. That makes sense. But they're not joint with Ho'olonopua at all. They're competing for the same funding that Ho'olonopua would get. And that's where the problem lies. And so that's what I told my sister, like, you could separate from the group and I stand with you on it. Like, she can still come on my YouTube channel on a live stream and still talk about the statistics and talk about the facts and talk about the sign waving and all the other stuff. You know what? You don't have to be with the organization to do that. Um, you know, the other things that she was kind of like a little upset about is that, there's other groups that's coming up in Hawaii that's nonprofit, not nonprofit, but they're not a nonprofit organization. They're not an organization at all. They're just everyday people like you and me that's just coming together and doing these sign waving events and whatnot. And my sister wants to work with them. She wants to join them and sign wave with them to show support. And, because the main goal here is to stop the trafficking of humans in Hawaii. And some of the people from the Protect Our Keiki group was telling my sister that it wasn't a good idea that she does that. She does that. They don't want those, groups kind of associated with them. They're not in a bad way, but if those groups do something wrong, it would hurt their reputation. And I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, um, the people are going to be people, right? And Protect Our Keiki was to host an event and encourage the community to come out. There would be one or two people from that community that would get violent with somebody who disagrees with the statement that they're trying to share, and then physical altercations would happen. So they're basically what I'm trying to say is that their group is not all peaches and cream. It's not all sunshines and rainbows, compared to other groups that are not an established organization. I just thought it was weird that they didn't want my sister to work with other people. Why not? If you're all trying to, go towards, see, this is the thing. This is what kills momentum for a subject that really, really needs attention. This is what kills that, is when they tend to compete with each other and they tend to like out everybody else because we need the help. And it always goes back to the funding. Why does it have to be about money? And so I told my sister, like, it really feels like that they've profited off your pain as well as the other women's pain. Because, I mean, my sister was on the news. She said Protect Our Keiki. Most of the people on the island of Hawaii are already starting to know what Protect Our Keiki is. So yeah. I'm not saying that my sister's a celebrity and that they have to give her Protect Our Keiki as the organization. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want to be a nonprofit organization. And she wants to work with whoever wants to go out there and do it. Like, there's car clubs that are against pedos and chomos. So if they want to have a car club event where they barbecue and they play loud music at the beach park and they hold up signs and they put signs in the ground, that says stop sex trafficking in Hawaii, protect the kids, the kids are our future. If they want to do stuff like that and my sister wants to attend, she should have every right to go and attend. So I told her, you're a free agent. Do as you please. And if they hold any hostility to you because you have told them that you don't want to commit to the organization, that you want to be a free agent, then that'll show you where some of the people in that group, where they lie and what they think. You know what I mean? Is there any good or bad reviews on this organization on the website? No, not yet, because they just launched their site. So there's no reviews just yet. They did so far what my sister said, because they have like a little Zoom meeting and my sister's a part of it, and so they've gotten 3 donations already. So that's good on them. I just feel like that it's mad sketchy. There's some red tape here. There's some red flags that I'm kind of concerned about. So I don't know. I don't want to bash them and say that there's something bad behind the scenes. But it just doesn't feel right for like the things that they're saying and what they're doing. If it's for the victims, why does money matter? Yeah, I mean, you could see, for me, you can have like a donation on the homepage if you want to give a spot for people who want to help and they want to donate to help for the cause. But the donation is on, I think, four pages on that website. You guys can go to it and look for it for yourselves. I'll put the link right now. So it's hold on, https:// protect our keiki Hawaii.org. So there's a link if you guys want to, if you guys want to go to it and look at it yourselves. There's like the PayPal donation link is in like several spots on that page. And like, I'm not trying to bash them. I'm not trying to say hate on them. Don't do that. All I'm saying is, and what I'm telling you guys this is because, if some of you guys have followed my sister on Facebook and whatever, whatnot, if you see that she's not directly promoting Protect Our Keiki, this would be the reason why. She didn't want it to go to be a nonprofit organization. What she was intending to do when she had joined to help them was she wanted to spread awareness, and she wanted people to become aware that there is a organization already in place who is working with state legislation to try and pass and change laws or amend laws, and who is building a home for victims and survivors, and who is giving out resources and helping people in the road to recovery from this. There's already a group, and she feels like that Protect Our Keiki is going to take some of that spotlight away from a group that has been established for years, who is using their help. She wanted to be the frontline soldiers to direct you to where you can get help, and that's all she wanted to do. She did not want to branch off and become an organization to push agendas, because I'm sorry, I love my friends back in Hawaii. I love my family over there, but not everybody needs to be taught. Not every child needs to be taught Hawaiian culture. Just because they live in the state of Hawaii, if they're not Hawaiian, they don't need to. It's not a must that they have to learn it. Okay, it's not a must. And I'm not disrespecting any Hawaiians back home. I don't want to hear that crap. Like, oh, whatever, this guy's howlified. Like, yeah, if you're going to start talking stuff, I can talk stuff with the best of them. So don't get at me on that. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? A full Caucasian boy that's not even Hapa Haole or anything like that has no business being taught Hawaiian culture. Has no business. There's no point. What does that have to do with the fact that he's a victim of a heinous crime? Nothing. And it does him no good. He doesn't recover from it. You know what I mean? A lot of the programs that they want to do, that's fine. That's fine. But then, you know what? Be something else. You don't have to represent such an archaic thing and say you're combative towards that. If you really want to just help children, if you really want to help them learn, how to cook, learn skill sets, for like work and stuff like that, you could still do that. You know what I mean? But I feel like they mask it. So it's like, we want to teach all these people these things, which is good things to learn. But they feel like they mask it like, if we profit off people's pains, it will allow us to do these things that we want to do. And I think those two need to be separated. And so, yeah, that's my stuff. So you guys take a look at the website. Hit me back later in the comments section. Let me know what you guys really think and how you feel about the website. I want to know. Yeah, it's a free for all. Say what you want to say. No one's going to be ridiculed or whatever. I want you guys to look at it with curious eyes and tell me what types of vibes you get from it. How do you feel about the page? Does it feel like that they're trying to help victims, or does it feel like they have a different agenda? Please tell me, because my sister's looking for advice, and I'm going to direct it to the comments later on, probably like in 2 or 3 days. So yeah. Anyways, guys, we've been on here for about an hour and a half. I'm going to end it now. Thanks for everyone who did come in and watch the podcast from the beginning. I really appreciate it. For those who think that I'm nuts because of the story I shared with you guys about that one nanny thinking that I had a brush-in with the devil in real life, look, those events happen. You can hit my sister up and ask her. They happen. But I'm not saying the guy is a devil. He could have just been a crazy person with a book. But it's a traumatic point in my life that I vividly remember the scenes. I just don't remember the sounds. I should have saved that one for like October during Halloween and share that story. But Yeah, it is what it is. I think your sister should do her own website and part of. Well, say she doesn't want to do her own website. Hole in the Pool has a website. If anyone wants any information, she wants to refer them to that website for help. Actually, that sounds wrong. I'm in who raises money for such. What do you mean that sounds wrong? What I'm saying sounds wrong, or what the site? Maybe talk with an attorney and ask them what they can help you with the situation. See if they are just explaining people's stories on their organization. Yeah, that's another thing. You know what? Thanks for sharing that. You know what? I'll pass that information to my sister. Um, because that's what it feels like to me. They're profiting off their pain. They're using them to kind of like champion their movement for people to actually take interest in them and possibly donate to them. And I don't like that. I don't like people because see this is before I close out this podcast, this is what it does. This is where it makes it detrimental. When one thing like that does that and people catch them doing that, it takes away the valid points of the other ones who are genuine, like Ho'ola Napua. I think the other one my sister said was Kiahi for the Keikis, which is a group of people that are like Protect Our Keiki, but they're not an organization. They're just everyday people like you and me that just group together and do it because they care. And they told my sister they would never turn into an organization, become nonprofit. But yeah, I think it's just the money they want and help a small part for the victim. Yeah, that's what I kind of feel too. All right, Red Rum, thanks for coming in. Peace out. Um, I do appreciate you guys sharing your insight. I'm gonna direct my sister to check this out later on and also check the comments out. Really, really appreciate you guys. You guys are so amazing. I love you guys, man. I love you guys very much. You guys always help me out in just all things too. So it's so cool. All right, I'm gonna go. Check out the gaming channel either on YouTube, subscribe to it, or if you prefer Twitch, follow me on Twitch. I will see you guys there. Be careful of any organization. You always need to know where your money goes. Treat it like it's your bank account. Exactly, Maverick. Perfect point. We fam here, Tino. Yes, we are. My daily side. Yes, we are. You've been around for the longest time, bro. No. I had removed parts of my text. You're good. Okay. Good. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me on this podcast. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably a little bit more earlier than this time. Maybe I'll go to sleep now and catch up on more sleep because 3 hours of sleep is just not working for me. But as always, thanks so much, guys. Law.